Productivity Commission has called for an independent review of building regulations in Australia, saying half as many homes are being built per hour worked compared with 30 years ago. Now, the report found slow approvals, a lack of innovation, a fragmented industry, and also difficulties attracting and retaining workers were to blame. It says the slowdown has contributed to the current housing affordability crisis. Now let's get more on the Productivity Commission's report. I'm joined by Michael Fotheringham from the Australian Housing and Urban Research Institute. Now, Michael, according to this report, as we just heard, half as many homes built per hour worked compared to 30 years ago. If we drill into that, if you account for the increase in the size of homes and the quality, it's still a 12% decline according to their figures. What do you make of that, and does it surprise you?
There's a range of factors going there. As you say, we've got bigger. We, in fact, now build, on average, the largest houses in the world. And so, that takes more time per house to assemble each one. We have more regulation and more standards around the quality of homes, which hopefully leads to less time spent on maintenance and less money spent on maintenance over time, but again, slows down the process. And I guess the interfering factor there is that the regulations are not necessarily consistent across the country. There are differences between states and even at local government level on what regulations apply. So that does create uncertainty and some stifling of productivity. But I think the bigger challenge really here is around the workforce, having sufficient workforce and sufficiently skilled workforce to start to really improve the pace at which we're building our homes.
And so do you agree with those other factors at play there, that they gave a lack of innovation, and also they point to a dominance of smaller building firms? Would you agree with that? Any of these stand out for you, and how can we address it?
I think there are two separate industries here, in fact, that are building homes. We have quite a separate industry building freestanding houses from the one that is building apartments. And there's not actually as much movement between those two subsectors as you might expect. So that does sort of create some siloing of capability. But yes, largely the way we build homes today is not radically different to the way we were doing it 30 or 40 years ago. We're hearing more rhetoric these days about off-site construction or modern methods of construction, building houses in factories and then moving to where they're needed. But actually we're well behind what's happening in most other developed nations. So there's certainly improvements to be had.